We are celebrating our 21st birthday this year. TG Escapes have been building fantastic buildings for a multitude of different applications for those years, and we've designed bespoke, beautiful, biophilic design buildings that have been really well received.
We're really big on using timber as much as possible, and that's part of the biophilic design ethos. So when you're walking up to our building, it feels warm, it feels homely, it feels like you're part of the natural environment.
TG has delivered a number of SEND facilities over the years, and the buildings are really well received by end users. And we've seen this crisis growing, the request for these kind of buildings, and we've decided to come to market with a pre-designed concept that can help alleviate the problems that we are seeing in the press through our partners in the industry, that this problem is not going away, and we would love to be a part of the solution. We have a great in-house team of designers, architects who have been designing fantastic buildings for many years. We felt the addition of Haverstocks and Blue Iris would just really bolster our offering.
The job of a mainstream school is getting more complicated. There's more and more diagnoses, and therefore what we're saying is the mainstream setting has to evolve, and some children need to learn in smaller groups, some children need to learn one-to-one, some children just need time out, and so a school setting has got to offer that provision across the board, because everybody has to have a chance to learn to their best ability.
There's been a lot of investment in the education sector in standardising design, regulations, building materials, and just find an organisation like TG Escapes that want to make sure they're hitting those requirements was a really exciting brief for us. The education sector can be dominated by a few large contractors, and to be looking to a smaller contractor who wants to meet those needs is really exciting. So the management of this project to take those standards, fully integrate them into their existing offering, an offering that's based off site, an offering that's looking to achieve net zero carbon in operation, and to work with them on developing that has been a really exciting journey.
So we had the TG biophilic design ethos that we really wanted to maintain. We had the sort of the Spec 21 compliance, and then what is the actual primary outcomes for these kids. So we took a sort of a user-centered approach to the design. So one of the key features of that is probably the kitchen, where it's a space to teach life skills which might not have been traditionally involved in an ARP unit.
The new Ofsted requirements will focus more on inclusivity in mainstream settings. And the reason that this project is so relevant to that is because what you're creating is this really positive element to the setting, and it's really important that that space is somewhere that everyone wants to go.
We've really brought all our biophilic design experience to the table. So the idea of maximum daylighting, which is why we've got the dual aspect windows on all the classrooms. We've made a free flow circulation space, allows the students to choose how they want to walk to each classroom. And in that circulation space, we've introduced lots of roof lights, we've introduced window vents next to all the windows to allow that natural air to flow into the building. And then we've incorporated crosstalk attenuators into the circulation space. So you get this natural stack ventilation effect of the air flows through the classroom into the circulation space and then up and out of the roof lights. And that really provides for a really healthy, breathing building.
It's absolutely proven that biophilic design has an impact on young people, their health and their learning, and that kind of feeling of the inside and outside is working really seamlessly, so that if you're doing kind of integrated therapies, they can be happening inside or they can be happening outside, or there could be circuits that are moving between the two spaces. But we've also considered the idea about supporting maybe some of the more vulnerable students that need more shelter, need more protection, so there's a lot of covered outdoor space. Early years intervention is really critical. So what we're trying to do is create settings that bring together health, social and educational practitioners. So therapy spaces, one-to-one spaces, meeting rooms, group spaces, a space that really welcomes parents, that parents and carers feel like they can come into and work with their children alongside practitioners.
There's a government mandate that the public estate will be net zero by 2050. And for me, it's the first question that should be asked when we're putting pen to paper is how can this building be kept net zero in operation? How can it be affordable and efficient and sustainable for schools to run?
The environment has been a really, really big cause that the company's cared about throughout its past 21 years. and it feels really good to be making a difference, and we're constantly learning, we're constantly improving, and it's just a great environment to be around.
At the Blue Iris Partnership, we believe that construction can be a lot more efficient, and we always find that there's the question of why does it take so long? And by using modern methods of construction, which is what the TG Escape system is, so we've got the benefit of the fact we've got a pre-designed solution, is aligned with BB 104, meets the requirements as set out in the DfE output specification, and I think it shows how our industry can respond to end users' needs to provide a quicker, affordable and best practice solution.
It doesn't just need to be a specially resource provision, it could be an inclusion hub, it could be an early years assessment centre. There's so many opportunities for where we can take this design. It's genuinely about a need to improve society, and I think we can work with clients and schools and local authorities to really make that brief work for them and their needs.
We'd love to have a building that everybody on the school site would be excited to go out there and be taught in.
It always feels, whenever we're sat in one of our buildings, the clients always feel calm, they always feel relaxed, they always mention about how peaceful our buildings are. So that's always a real special part of delivering a building with TG Escapes.